The Kamba are Bantus and they speak Kikamba language. They are closely related to the Kikuyu, Embu, Mbehere, and Meru. Majority of them are found in Machakos, Makueni, and Kitui counties, an area called Ukambani, while some are found in the coastal region. Among the best known Kamba people are Chief Kivoi, Siongu, Prophetess Syokimau, and Muindimbingu, among others. The Kamba are believed to have migrated from the Mount Kilimanjaro area where they had settled about 1300 AD. From there, they moved to Taita and the Mbohoni Hills between the 15th and the 17th centuries. Due to population pressures, some were forced to migrate and travel through the plains to the coast, then up to the Tana River, through Shimba Hills to their current location. Like other communities, the Kamba also has their own traditional creation story. They believe that their god Mulungu created a man and woman and placed them on a rock, Zauwi, where their footprints, including those of their livestock, can be seen to this day. Mulungu then caused a great rainfall. From the many anthills around, a man and a woman came out. These are the initiators of the spirits clan, the Aimo. It so happened that the couple from heaven had only sons, while the couple from the anthill had only daughters. Naturally, the couple from heaven paid dowry for the daughters of the couple from the anthill. The family and their cattle greatly increased in numbers. With this prosperity, they forgot to give thanks to the Creator. Mulungu punished them with a great famine. This led to dispersal as the family scattered in search of food. Some became the Kikuyu, others the Meru, while some remained as the original people, the Kamba. There you have the creation story. Kamba marriages were mostly arranged by the parents, but sometimes a man was allowed to choose the woman he wanted to marry. A man who was seeking a wife would choose a woman and ascertain that she was willing to marry him. 3 goats were then sent to the woman's father as a sign of commitment, and one will be slaughtered. These goats will be sent with the leather of cowhide, which will be sent back to the sender as a sign of consent. If the woman's father had changed his mind, the goats could be returned. Payment of the bride wealth was made according to the wealth of the suitor's family and the terms of the agreement. Bride price could never be said to be paid in full because it was considered to last as long as the relationship lasted. There were always 1 bull and 2 cows included in the bride price and a certain number of goats. It was the number of goats that varied according to the agreement. Other requirements included leather rope, a drum containing honey, bananas, traditional beer, among other items. Small presents to the mother of the bride and other close relatives are also customary at the time of the negotiations. After the bride wealth is paid, she is ceremoniously abducted to her husband's home. The Kamba believed in a monotheistic, invisible, and transcendental God, Ngai or Mulungu, who lived in the sky, Yayayani or Ituni. The traditional Kamba perceived the spirits of their departed ones, the Aimu or Maimu, as the intercessors between themselves and the Ngai Muumbi Mwatuangi. They were remembered in family rituals, offerings, and libations at individual altars. Syokimau, the powerful prophetess of the Kamba. Syokimau was born and raised in Iveti Hills, near what is now Machakos, in the 1800s. Besides being a prophetess, she was a great medicine woman. Her people held her in high regard because it is claimed that she could predict if other communities such as the Maasai and the Kikuyu would attack, giving Kamba warriors enough time to prepare to defend themselves. She is said to be the greatest Kamba prophetess that ever lived because she prophesied the coming of the white man and the building of the railway line with unmatched accuracy. In her prophecy, she saw a long snake spitting fire and smoke as it moved from one water to another. People came out of it. their skin like white meat, and their words nonsensical like the chirping of the birds. In their pockets, she said they carried fire with them everywhere they went. Foretold somewhere in the mid-1800s, her prophecy about the coming of the white men was probably before all the prophets that followed in later years. She also foretold the coming of a generation that would behave in strange ways. This generation would talk like weaverbirds, claim to be wiser, and break traditions. They would do things that were considered taboos. Surprisingly, they would even build houses on top of one another. In the 20th century, her prophecy did come to pass. The long snake that spit fire and smoke was the Kenya-Uganda railway line, which began at the coast in Mombasa near the Indian Ocean. The railway snacked across the land to the then Port Florence, now Kisumu, home of the Lake Victoria. The strange people with skin like white meat were the white people, the colonialists, and their so-called nonsensical words were the English language. The strange generation that was prophesied is our generation. We have, after all, built houses on top of other houses, all the skyscrapers we now see. Syokimau died in a mysterious circumstances that even her people could not explain. Her tribesmen claim that she died and was, listen to this, and was resurrected twice before dying for good the third time. It was later said that Siongu Wakathukia, another prophetess from Earth River, was so amazed at her prophecy that she named the place that is now called Syokimau after her. There is a statue of Syokimau at the new Syokimau Standard Gauge Railway Station to celebrate this great Kamba prophetess and medicine woman. Long before the coming of the white man, possession of supernatural powers was greatly revered by Kenyan tribes. Among these tribes, only a few individuals could rival Syokimau of the Kamba in prophetic powers. Dating back centuries, the stories and traditions of the peoples of Kenya are some of the most fascinating in the world. They have enriched the country through social, economic, political and cultural activities, each with their own unique stories. Today, 44 communities are officially recognized by the government and are classified into 3 linguistic groups: the Bantu, the Nilotic, and the Cushitic speakers. The National Museums of Kenya holds objects telling the stories of these communities, which represents the country's ethnic diversity and vibrant culture. Inasmuch as some of these cultural practices are still embraced today, visitors, traders, and missionaries who visited East Africa as from the 18th century and formal education have gradually influenced the culture and religion of the people of Kenya today. Tuishangilie Kenya, taifa letu tukufu, Kenya tunayoipenda, Kenya inji tunayoipenda. Twajivunia sana tukijiita wa Kenya, inji yenye baraka, Kenya inji yenye baraka. Tumekomboa Kenya, taifa letu tukufu, tumebadili mwendo, tutalinda katiba mpya. Anayependa Kenya ni yule mwenye kutenda haki kwa watu wote, mtu mwenye kutenda haki. Na ukipenda Kenya hujitengane na mambo yenye kuvunja amani. Hatutaki matata Kenya daima.